I don't know why, but today seems like it's gonna be a great day.
594 seconds to go. And I'm here with my forever co-host, Judge Thomas Millett. Judge, how you doing?
And top of the morning to you, Carb.
Top of the morning to you as well. We want to say welcome to all our viewers/listeners to the latest reason you're all going to block me on Twitter. We actually don't know what this podcast is called yet. I had a name for it, but Tom, I don't think you really liked that much.
Block you on X, you mean?
Oh God. Okay, you're right. I'm gonna get sued. But Tom, I don't even want to say the title of the pod yet because I think we need to hash this out right here. What kinds of inspiration did you have for the title of this possible podcast?
I want to do Locked in a Hot Car with Tom and Curb.
Locked in a what? Okay, wait. See, that seems a little harsh. Where does that come from?
Wait.
Yeah.
Okay, something else that I want this podcast to focus on is niche references.
Great.
We've talked about this before.
Yes.
Doing a whole segment about niche references, but I want to build it in everywhere.
Yeah. Great.
The way we make references based on like the tone of what people say. And like if someone says something in a specific tone, it reminds us of like a niche reference. When you just said something, it reminded me of that clip of the couple sitting at like a
Your improv's getting real good.
The restaurant that's the old country store, Cracker Barrel. Like the old the old couple that's sitting at it's Cracker Barrel-esque, but they did a Saturday Night Live sketch about it. It's where they say baked in a buttery, crispy baked
buttery, flaky crust or whatever.
Yeah. I didn't. Now that it took me so long to explain that, I can't even remember what you said that reminded me of that, but something did. We'll run it back and you'll see where I.
Rewind. We gotta get Marjorie on the case, right? We wish her well.
Marjorie's incarcerated.
Oh my God, she got arrested too? She was already at death's door.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
She was in the hospital. I thought I was remembering her as incarcerated. Well, she might as well.
No. She might as well be. I mean,
she's both at the same time, handcuffed to the bed.
Exactly. The law's been after her for years. Anyway, Marjorie is our live-in stenographer. We'll be relying on her for all things we say in this podcast. But Tom, I'm glad you mentioned time, because this is a very important aspect of this podcast. Here's the deal. In this busy world, in the year of our Lord 2023, our media diets are well balanced. We're listening to podcasts, we're watching YouTube videos. We have things that we are already invested in. Tom, what's the worst feeling you can get when you have a guest that comes on a podcast that you like, and you're like, I think I'd like to listen to it. You press play, what do you see? It's a 2-hour podcast. You're like, I don't have time for this. That's where we come in. We're producing a podcast that pairs very well with other podcasts. We're not here to take up your time. You got a life to get back to. And quite frankly, Thomas, I don't want to beat a dead horse here, but the white man has spoken enough. So we don't need more than 10 minutes of your time.
I'm looking at you, James Fallon.
James Fallon. Oh, that's a hot topic right there. That's fresh off the press. And you may realize we do have a guest gracing us in the background here. This is Jerry Trainer. The first iteration of a podcast that Thomas and I did was a live Instagram show called Waiting for Jerry, in which we only had one goal, and that was to eventually book Jerry Trainer on Instagram Live. Which, Thomas, I think we can still keep as a goal for this podcast. I think it's a good one.
Sure. Even though we were unsuccessful in that venture, but here we are again.
Yes. But, Tom, speaking of Waiting for Jerry, I don't mean to put you on the spot here, but we did come back for a very, very brief season 2 after he moved to Houston.
Yeah. Go on.
The people, yes, I shall. The people have reached out to us and said, I thought we were going to get a full season. What exactly happened?
And to which people are you referring that reached out?
We got like one fan, and and it's Kate Konechny. Kate Konechny was wondering. This might as well be a viewer mail segment.
Well, I've never heard an opinion of Kate Konechny that isn't worth questioning.
Okay. Kate Konechny, consider that your invite to come on the pod and throw down with Thomas Millett. Thomas, I've got my own perspective of what exactly happened with Waiting for Jerry, but would you like to tell the story first?
No.
All right, here I go. So Tom hits me up. We had not done a Jerry in like a year or something like that.
It had been a long time.
It had been a really long time. And Tom hits me up and he says, it's a Thursday, which it happened to be when we were doing Jerry's at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And Tom says, "Oh my God, it's Thursday. We need to do a Jerry." And I said, works for me. I'll do a Jerry. I keep burping. This is the kind of shit we get to cut out now that we're not live.
Oh, we're not cutting those out, baby.
Oh, damn it. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Marjorie.
Marjorie's doubling in as our editor, and she's not cutting this out.
She's keeping this in.
Yeah.
So Tom says, we got to do a Jerry, and I say, okay. So we get on the Instagram Live, and Tom comes in really hot. Really hot. What was the... Do you want to tell the joke you had?
Oh, it was the Martin Short style of joke of, Kirby, before we started the pod, you were telling me how child labor laws, just get rid of them. You want to expand on that?
Then, Thomas had just gone through a big move, and I was like, we need to update because we haven't talked to the people in a while. I don't think Thomas said another word for the entire podcast. Thomas, can you tell me what happened in that moment?
I came in with one joke and nothing else.
He brought one joke to a half-hour pod.
And I had no interest in continuing after I had delivered the joke.
And so here I am, on a high wire, live on Instagram, with Thomas. Not only is Thomas not saying anything, every question I ask, he goes, "I don't want to talk about that." So we've rested, we've taken stock, and we want to bring you this new podcast, which I don't know if we're going to go the hot car route, but I think we do need to decide soon what the podcast is going to be called. I mean, should we brainstorm right now?
Well, I threw out the idea maybe last week, Waiting for Terry.
Okay.
Like Waiting for Larry.
Every new podcast is just a different name. Who's the Terry we need to be going for? I think Terry Gross from NPR. I think
we Two Birds, One Stone, now available on iTunes. That's Trixie Mattel's album.
Oh, okay.
The two album. Whenever she uses that idiom, Two Birds, One Stone, she'll say now available on iTunes.
Nice.
I say Two Birds, One Stone, Waiting for Sherry O'Terry.
Oh, Sherry O'Terry. She's been having a moment on TikTok with the Fudgy Wudgy Man.
Yeah,
as you've been illuminating.
We need to make Sherry Terry Fudgy Wudgy like an entire topic of an episode. That's what we're talking about next week.
I think we already have one about you getting me started on a certain app. We'll reveal that later. But yes, we need to discuss Sherry's resurgent.
Yeah, we're cutting that out. Cut the Marjorie.
Nope. I just got a call from Marjorie. She said that's it.
No, we'll let Marjorie's inebriated.
Not inebriated, incapacitated.
That's
different.
The word I was looking for. It's not leaking, it's overflowing.
Overflowing.
That's what I want to do, is whenever we make one of those niche references, we need to explain it.
Oh, for sure. And sometimes I feel like they could cause whole episodes, like our journey with Precious Plum, for instance. That will certainly be covered at some point.
Yeah.
So, well, Tom, we out of time.
So my two official submissions for the name: Locked in a Hot Car with Tom and Curb, or Waiting for Sherry O'Terry.
Waiting for Sherry O'Terry. Okay.
I think we could get Sherry O'Terry.
Well, we'll see, won't we? Hey, Tom, Illy, everyone else, Take care.
There's a skip in my step, a pep in my pep.